Hey folks, welcome back and all be all here. And we're back in week 3 this time. We are actually in battle number 2. The first battle of the week, I did record it, but I didn't give commentary given that the matchup wasn't really that interesting. I won pretty comfortably. My opponent was only able to clear one zone, despite keeping all of his GLs on offense. What I'll do is I'll give a link to the first battle without commentary in the video below, in the description below. So feel free to go and check it out if you want to see that battle. One or two new things in that battle. I did fail with my Ray counter against Darth Revan. Usually that team has worked pretty well for me. Ray solos Darth Revan pretty well, but this was the double tank version, and there were some issues that I faced while taking my Ray in. So that's one interesting battle if you want to check it out. Otherwise, it's a pretty standard GAC offense. This second battle that we have against Mikio, that's a little more interesting, and that's something which I think it's worth giving commentary for. So this one is a pre-recorded battle. I recorded all of my battles yesterday, and I'm just giving voiceover commentary. Mikio is from the guild Mighty Chlorians Latino. Pretty good lifetime banners and really good player, 619k lifetime banners. So pretty successful in GAC, has reached a rank of about 580 in Kaiba before, which is decent. And then he's got 3 GLs, except for SLKR. He's got all the others with their ultimates, 6.7 million GP as well, and pretty decent mods. And keeps a relatively tougher defense as well, from what I've seen. So let's go ahead and plan a strategy against Mikio. For my defenses, I decided to keep my all my GLs on offense, but still kept a uniformly tough defense. I mean, that's the key for my defense. I mean, make sure that every single team that you put on defense is tough, and you don't give any leeway to your opponents to get an easy win. So Darth Revan and General Grievous at the front. And the reason I kept Grievous in the front is because my opponent, I've seen from his history, usually takes gas or a GL against Grievous. So I think because his own Jedi are slightly weak, his Jolie is only G12, so which is why I wanted him to expend a really good team up front, preferably Gas against the Grievous, and that's why I kept my own Gas and CLS at the back, just behind the Grievous and Darth Revan. Probably use Gas and Darth Revan up front, waste that, and then over here I've kept Padme, who he usually takes Grievous against. Let me go back there. Yep, at the top I've kept Padme, who usually takes Grievous against, usually takes Gas against as well. I've kept my JTR squad with the heroes and the two droids, and I've kept my BAM squad, Mandalorians squad, which has done pretty well for me in in Grand Arena so far. Always gets a hold or two. And then at the back, I've kept both my get ships. My opponent usually keeps a Raddus and Home One on defense. So I thought I'll strip some banners over here on the get ships. So for my defense, my opponent has kept 2 GLs up front, but he has not kept them down below. He's kept them on top. So it allows me the luxury of seeing the whole board, clearing the bottom, seeing the whole board, and then deciding what I want to take against these 2 GLs. So if you're keeping your GLs, I would recommend keeping them in the bottom, either in the front or at the back. In the front, if you want them to really waste up some good teams before seeing the back, or in the hopes of getting them trapped. Or if you want to surprise them, make them use a really heavy counter to the GLs in the front, and then keep your surprise GLs at the back. But don't keep them in the front, on the top, blocking ships, because that defeats the whole purpose of GLs. I mean, you safely allow your opponent to see your whole board, and then at leisure decide what they want to take against the GLs. So he's kept both his GLs over here. So he kept JML on offense, and then he's kept a Padme squad over here as well. And then down south, he's kept relatively easier squads. He's kept a Grievous squad and then a Mon Mothma squad. Mon Mothma should be easily, it's really shouldn't be kept on defense. It's a very easy squad to get 60 against. Grievous is the one with Watt, which I haven't seen in a long time. I think 5-6 months back, people used to put Watt with Grievous. I was expecting this because from my opponent's history, I've seen he always keeps Watt with Grievous. But Watt is these days so much more better used in a GL counter. There's so many places for Watt these days, so it's almost never kept in a Grievous squad. But it does make Grievous a very legit team, especially if everyone else is relict and high on offense. If Watt gets a couple of techs out, then it can get a little tricky, even with the regular JKR counter that you usually take. JKR, if you take JKL with him, then Watt tends to melt pretty easily. This one you can see is a 153k GK. So what I decided to do was, since I have all three of my GLs on offense, I decided to take my Ray solo against the Grievous squad. Now Ray typically tends to, just like SLKR, Ray tends to solo the Grievous squad pretty well, no issues at all. You just need to make sure that you get a couple of lifebloods and then whirlwind someone so that and as long as you kill someone with whirlwind, Watt is not able to revive them. So here you see Watt tried to revive, but he wasn't able to because the Magna Guard died with whirlwind. Now over here, I should have probably gone after what's his name, Watt, because you don't want Watt giving out the health tech to Grievous. That actually makes it pretty problematic, or it takes a little bit of time, a little bit of extra time, because otherwise you're able to get rid of General Grievous pretty easily with a whirlwind. But here you see the Grievous got the health tech, which means there's a ton of, every time anyone takes a turn, he gets bonus protection on top of the health and protection recovery. So it takes a little bit of time to get him down. Ideally, you want to, if you're taking Ray solo against Grievous, you ideally want to take him down before he gets any tech on him. But as it stands over here, you can see I tried to whirlwind him, but because there's so much of health and protection on him, bonus protection, he is just not able to go down. So I needed a little extra time to take him down. It's still not much of an issue because of all the turn meter reduction. Ray's mastery goes through the roof, so she's doing tons of damage. Like on a basic, she's doing like 100k damage. Yeah, you can see over here, two hits of 120k each. So now I go into ultimate again and try to, and this ultimate probably is not going to take out Grievous, but I end up doing tons of damage to Grievous just with the basics. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to just take him out while maintaining full health and full health at least on Ray. So you can see here a quick, easy 63 banners on Grievous. Pretty easy solo, whether with Ray or with SLKR. Now, I need to get at least 60 banners against the other squad, which is Mon Mothma. And one thing that I usually like to do is I like to go with my own Mon Mothma mirror. I have the turn meter train version of Mon Mothma, and he's got the JKL requirement version of Mon Mothma, which is, you know, the 3 rebel fighters that you're required to relic up for getting JKL, which is Biggs, Wedge, and Lando. You plug them in with another rebel fighter like Cara Dune, for example, who in this case is only G12. And then a lot of people like to keep that on defense. It's really not that difficult to take out, and you usually end with full 60 banners over there. You can take EP over there. You can take your own Mon Mothma. You can take bounty hunters to prevent the revives. There's tons of teams which give you full banners against that. So I really wouldn't keep this team on defense anymore. You can see over here, I usually save Wedge for the last, because if you crit Wedge, he does get full turn meter. So I, instead of getting the other rebel fighters to assist, I always like to get the others down and then go with the bigs towards the end. And at the most, you lose maybe 1 banner on your tank, Kara in this case, if your Mon Mothma is not able to heal completely. But in most cases, you're able to recover fully that banner on Kara, just because Mon Mothma assists so often and does and heals with a basic. So it should be pretty fine. So you can see over here, I do a final heal with Mon Mothma, and I get rid of Biggs before he's able to do a final attack, and end with full 60 banners. Pretty simple. And now let's see what we have at the back. My opponent has kept JTR and crew, which he always keeps at the back, so I'm not really surprised by that. So now we have the 2 toughest squads, which is the 2 GLs that we need to take out on top. And the Sith Eternal Emperor, it's a pretty simple option. SLKR completely obliterates Sith Eternal Emperor, and he's kept Dooku in here for the ability block as well as what do you see? Sidious for the healing immunity on basic. So that can get a little problematic if you're trying to take SLKR solo, but uh, but you can see over here it's really not much of an issue for SLKR. Um, he does, that ability block can sometimes screw you and allow you not to take some specials, but even the basic does so much damage that it's really not much of a problem. So I'm just doing a few specials. I'm almost in yellow right now, so I'm trying to see if I can't recover some more health back. Now that Sidious is gone, there's no more healing immunity, and um, even Dooku is gone, so it's no ability block. So I'm just trying to see if I can recover the full health, but probably not looking likely. So I just decided to end it with my SLKR ultimate, and 62 is not bad against a GL, so that's fine. So I'm averaging okay banners so far, about 61 banners so far. I think about 60 banners is what I'm doing so far, which is fine. Now I decide to take in my Jedi Master Luke against the Rey comp. And this is a relatively simple version of the Rey comp. I could have taken Vader as well. It does have double tank, but the JTR one is a little more tricky. But here it's got OG Finn as the tank over here. So my goal is to end with full 60 banners, which is why I took in Watt. Watt helps Jedi Master Luke recover tons of protection and survive quite a few whirlwinds from Rey, which is why I have Watt in there with a few other Jedi. And the main purpose of all the Jedi, Shakti is there to recover some additional protection and to dispel some more on basic. Um, Luke is there to stun everyone and control, and Old Ben is there to reduce turn meter and apply ability block. I never taunt with Old Ben. He's just there for control. So it's a very controlling squad to take against Rey. You can see over here the enemy almost never moves, or is already or is always ability blocked. So this is actually a really decent comp to take against Rey if you want to end with full health and full protection. And it also leaves your OG JKR squad alone, which is JKR, Basti, Grandmaster Yoda, Hermit Yoda, and Jolie. It lets that squad remain intact if you want to take it against something else, and it allows you to get full banners against Rey in this lineup. So you see over here, I'll survive a couple of ultimates, but ultimately it's extremely easy to end with full banners because you can always delay towards the end. The main strategy over here is you need to get rid of Rey as soon as you can. So do your make sure that you do all sorts of use the lead ability as much as you can and try to get to Jedi Master Luke's ultimate as soon as you can, so that you can ignore taunt in case the taunts go off. But you can see over here I've not allowed apart from Rey, I've not allowed the other enemies to take a single turn at all, just because of the amazing control ability that this team has. I get my ultimate. Watt is doing a decent job of keeping everyone topped up, and Old Ben as well. He's reducing turn meter and making sure that everyone is ability blocked, and Jedi Knight Luke as well, making sure everyone is stunned, so that there's really nothing much that the enemy team can do at this stage. So the damage immunity is already exhausted on Rey. Now we just have to make sure that we hit Rey really, really hard and make sure that we get rid of her, and then we can work on recovering our banners before before we end the battle. So there we go. Rey is gone. Now all of our Jedi are at full health and full protection. Just need to recover a little bit on Watt, and then we are good. So I'm trying to delay as much as I can over here. I call Watt to assist, just so that he's able to. We are avoiding doing too much damage. And if Hermit Yoda was here, I would have called Hermit Yoda to heal everyone. But since I plan to use Hermit Yoda with my JKR squad, I'm trying to do what I can to get Watt back to full health and full protection. He does give protection up, which is great, and He does also have heal over time, which can also help to recover full protection on him. So good thing over here is Amelin Holdo has got damage immunity, so I'm able to get Watt to full health, and now I just call him with Shark Teeth to get him to full protection as well. And now it's just a question of making sure that Holdo doesn't take any more turns, and I end the battle as soon as she comes out of stun and damage immunity. So pretty good controlling team to take if you want to mirror, if you want to take it against Ray to get full health and full protection. So you can see over here 60 banners. If you can afford to spare Ray up your Watt over here, you can get full 60 banners with just two good Jedi, Jedi Master Luke and Jedi Knight Luke. The reason I wanted to save my JKR, GMY, and the rest of my OG JKR squad is because I wanted to take them against the Padme. Now, Padme is one of those squads which is really good on defense if you mod them right. In this particular case, I've sped it up because this battle, the way that you have to attack them is you have to mark your Anakin and then do single target attacks against Anakin and take him out. So the damage on the team is gone. Then you just need to wait for Padme and mark her and take care of her. And R2D2 over here, you'll notice is a really good addition, just because he hides Padme, and I'm not able to really get to Padme with my Jedi Knight Luke or my Jedi Master Revan. And when I finally do get it, because she's so tanky, it takes a while to get her down. And I'm trying to do what I can, single target attacks and all that. But before I get a chance, the mark gets lost, and then R2D2 hides Padme again. So I have to bide my time, wait for my turn for Padme to come out of stealth again. So if you want to save your, if you want to give a tough time to Jedi Knight Revan teams, put R2D2 in there, especially a fast R2D2. You can see over here with less than a minute left to go, I finally managed to take down Padme, but but it was a really close thing. You can see over here with less than 20 seconds left, I was down to the final two people, and I was finally able to get down R2D2 and finally Ahsoka as well to get about 58 banners. So in the end, it was a good outcome, but there was a moment over there in the middle that I felt that I was going to time out just because I wasn't able to target Padme soon enough. And one thing that I would say in terms of modding is you saw how early I was able to get out Jedi Knight Anakin, like with less than 30 seconds in the beginning. Most people they mod Jedi Knight Anakin for damage, either tons of crit chance, often set or CD set. But if you're going to put Jedi Knight Anakin in a Padme squad, then I would actually recommend modding him for health, just because the main source of damage in a Padme squad is going to be courage. And if any counter that you take against Padme, whether it's Traya or EP or Vader or Jedi Master, Jedi Knight Revan in this example, all those counters they focus on taking down Anakin first. And if you make the Anakin really tanky, extremely healthy, mod for all health sets, health primaries, and maybe even keep Barris in there. That actually makes the team really tough to take down because it'll take a long while to get hold of Jedi Knight Anakin and get him down. And during that time, the rest of the team can end up doing damage. And your Jedi Knight Anakin also might end up doing some amount of damage if you're not able to take him out early. So I think at least in a Padme squad, it makes sense. It might make sense to change the modding to for Jedi Knight Anakin to be fully health modded. That I think could be more problematic on defense. Just an observation. And Barris and R2D2 are both good options to keep with Padme. But these days, there are a lot of Padme counters out there, and Padme is great for offense as well. So it depends on what you want to take. All right, so now we just have to get through these last two squads with decent banners, and then we can get to ships. So I decided to take in this against the crew squad. It's not really a highly relic crew squad. I think only crew and Hux are relict. Everyone else is relatively low relict. So I taken my my Traya, and then I taken my Thrawn to recover banners because yeah, first get rid of Sith Trooper. Yeah, because there's no natural way for this team to really recover banners, so Thrawn is the best way to do that. And then I'm just applying ability block on everyone and trying to land as many debuffs as I can, pass the turn meter back to Traya, land and isolate on crew because he's the only taunting tank over there. And then I I fracture Kylo Ren because I don't want him doing all those AoEs. And then I just try to take out General Hux whenever I can because he's the turn meter train for this team. So I've got the Culling Blade available, so I think I decided to take care of Executioner. And then I decide to take care of Hux. There we go. And then it's just a question of recovering some banners on the team before Kylo Ren goes down. He's not a very tanky Kylo Ren. I think only relic 3 or 4, which is why I'm having a tough time delaying too much on here. But I'm trying to do what I can to delay the battle so that I can at least get one big turn from one or two big turns from Thrawn, so that he can land a few protection heals on my team, and I'm able to get at least 57, 58 banners. So I pass the turn meter back to Thrawn so that he gets a chance um, to pass the protection back to someone else, and I think I decided to do Scion over here, or Nihilus, yeah. I decided to do Nihilus, and everyone except Scion and Vader are at full health and full protection, so I get cool 59 banners. I think I managed to recover some protection on Vader as well, I think. Now we need to take something effective against that. I don't have anything which can really recover good protection against JTR squad, and with the two vets in there, it can get a little tricky with ability blocks and AoEs and all of that. So I could have taken my bounty hunters probably, but I think I didn't want to risk it against JTR. And I know that Nightsisters are a weak point of JTR. So I decided to take in my Nightsisters with 1000 lead against them. So let's go over to that battle. There we go. So that battle, so it's just a question of making sure plague spreads. I get rid of one of the vets, I think the Han, as soon as I can, just so that we don't have problems from him later on, and then start spreading plague around as soon as I can. There we go. The Resistance Trooper is really a good choice in this team just because he gets tons of turn meter under Rey. I haven't used him forever, but I think I should consider using him again. I think especially if you're using Finn and the heroes on offense, Resistance Trooper actually is pretty good with Finn and OG Poe in that team. So I should probably consider using him a little more in that team. So now that Resistance Trooper is gone, and Vet Han is gone as well, I just focus on taking down veteran smuggler Chewbacca. And once he's taken care of, then it's pretty easy to control the rest of the team. There is a decent amount of plague on the board, and I have almost everyone at full health except for Daka, so I just need to heal with Daka when I can. There we go, one final heal. Everyone is at full health, and I think Spirit is at full protection as well because of the Foresight. So that gives us a cool 56 banners. So not a full 60 banners, but I think I've been doing pretty well on the other banners. Almost 58, 59 average on the banner side so far, so pretty good. Now I just need to one-shot the ship zone, and I would have set a pretty decent defense, a pretty decent score to take for my opponent to go against. Let's see. So against the rebels, I decided to take the Grand Moff Tarkin's fleet. Empire is really great against rebels, and I think the key is starting with Imperial TIE Fighter, and the key is to make sure that your Imperial TIE Fighter is faster than your enemy's Han. So the enemy Millennium Falcon is going to be the fastest ship on a rebel lineup, And typically they have 193, 194, in some cases 195 speed if they're really high relic up. This particular one was, I think, 193. My own Millennium Falcon is 194, so that's usually the range that you'll see. Unfortunately, in this case, my TIE fighter is only 192. Ideally, you want the TIE fighter to go before. And the reason for that is if your TIE fighter goes before, then what happens is it puts the foresight up. And then during this time, when the Millennium Falcon goes and does the AoE, your TIE fighter gets evaded. Because he's got foresight on, and that gives turn mirror to the Tarkin ship, and he can go and potentially apply not target lock, but ability block on your enemy ships. Preferably, you want a target lock to be applied on the enemy Y-wing so that he doesn't do the debuff with which removes the protection on your taunting TIE bomber. That's the ideal goal. So that makes the Empire versus Rebel battle way smoother. So in this particular case, my TIE fighter wasn't able to go before the enemy rebel, which is why immediately after this battle got over, I went in, made sure that I put some 6E mods on my TIE fighter, and now I have him up at 194 speed. Or actually 195 speed, which is slightly faster than most Millennium Falcon feats that I would face at least. So that I think is a really important distinction. I didn't get my TIE fighter to relic. I think with relics it's easier to get him to 195, but mine is G12 with only one G12 piece on him. But I did manage to put all 60 mods on him to get him to 195 speed. So I think that's the threshold. So you can see over here. I wasn't able to get the ability blocks, so that's why the Y-wing went and dispelled the protection on my taunt. But as long as I'm able to get the burning off, they do low damage, so it should be pretty fine. But the very first thing that I need to do is I need to make sure that I get my shuttle out. So here you can see my TIE bomber is almost in the yellow. So I get my shuttle out. The very first thing I need to do is dispel the debuffs on him and give him a little more health and protection so that he's able to survive. And then I focus down on Millennium Falcon because there's no more that buff that he has is not there anymore. And then it's just a question of taking down the rest of the ships pretty easily enough. There's an unfortunate AoE, but that's fine. Now I just need to heal up as much as I can, and then it'll be a decent enough banner outcome over here. So I think I get one more turn with my Empire shuttle where I can heal up someone else. I think I decide to heal up TIE Bomber because he's got a little bit of health left. And then I end with full protection and health, at least on the TIE Bomber. So 63 banners, not bad. Anything over 60 is great against Rebels. So yeah, Rebel mirror match would have been a little more dicey, which is why I think I'm going to take in my Empire fleet every time I see Rebels, which is why it was so important for me to get the TIE fighter up to 195 speed at least. And then Rebels are a hard counter against Raddus fleet, even with the Houndstooth in there, like you see over here. So you just do as many assists as you can. They will start first because Poe is fastest, but as long as you're able to, the important thing over here is to attack, not to attack the others, because Houndstooth is going to start taunting. So I do a basic on Houndstooth over here, and then I do the target lock on the raised Millennium Falcon, and then take it out as soon as I can. So that's an important thing to do when you see Houndstooth in the front. And then, with the Han's Millennium Falcon, Houndstooth really doesn't last that long. It's pretty easy to take him out because he tends to ignore protection, Han's Millennium Falcon. And now it's just a question of getting in some protection recovery with the Y-wing, and then it's a pretty straightforward battle to take out the rest of the ships over here. There's really not much damage dealers out here. Just need to make sure that you keep dispelling your foresight on the enemy ship so that Raddus doesn't get to use the ultimate. But these ships typically tend to get destroyed pretty fast against the rebels. So very cool 66 banners, not much of an issue. So our final score was about 21-33, which is great, which means that my opponent needs to get 65 each on the ship battles and an average of 59 banners on the ground zone in order to be able to beat me. And I've kept a pretty banner stripping defense as well. So let me switch over to my the live version. I'll show you how my opponent did. They did get a chance to go, and Mikio went in and struggled quite a bit on my defense. So in the front, did one-shot both these teams. I think they saw that I had a score pretty high of 21-33, and they needed to take in something really good to one-shot. So I think they took their gas and Darth Revan against these two. Still had the Jedi Master Luke. Maybe they might have taken Jedi Master Luke against one of these. I'm not sure. But at the back, they had to two-shot the CLS squad, and two battles against gas, but weren't able to take the gas down. So that was good to see. So that zone wasn't cleared. And on top over here, took out my Padme squad. Don't know what they took against that, but one battle each against the Mando squad as well as the Rey squad. This actually is the best version of Rey JTR that you can keep on defense. And if you're using Rey on offense and you don't need your heroes along with your GL Rey, then heroes with the JTR and the droids can make a really good defensive team. So a lot of struggle for my opponent, only able to clear one zone. So pretty good outcome over here. The keeping GLs on offense does allow you that flexibility to handle whatever your opponent has on defense. If they keep their own GLs, then I'm able to use my own GLs to take them out. But if they don't keep their GLs, then I can use my own GLs to undersize and get some extra banners. And at the same time, the uniformly tough defense that I have makes my opponent struggle, whether they decide to keep their own GLs on defense or offense. So that's the second battle. Pretty happy with that outcome. Now we're into the finals. We'll face another good opponent. I'll give you guys an update in a couple of days. If it's a good matchup, then I'll record commentary and I'll upload that video. Otherwise, I'll just upload the video without commentary. But hopefully you guys will get to see a good match. All right, I will catch you guys soon. Thanks for tuning in, and happy gaming. I will catch you guys later.